Alexa TV presents in 3, 2, 1. Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
All this week on Dateline Schools, we're learning about Quiz Bowl. And this week we're at Port Huron High School, which is the scene of the annual rivalry match between Port Huron High and Port Huron Northern. And tell us all about it, my special guests are the coaches from the two high schools, from Port Huron Northern, Lisa Schleicher, as well as from Port Huron High School, Kelly Harrington. And Kelly, can you describe for us what it's like if someone came to see a match?
Okay, well, when you come to a match, pretty much there's going to be two teams. The actual match, I would say, is when you go to the school, like we're having a match here tonight and there's different rounds to the match. I should say during a round, there's going to be two teams competing. Each round has 3 10-minute periods, I suppose to call them, and during that time you get as many questions as possible. So the two teams will be going head-to-head. A toss-up question is given. Both teams have the chance to answer that question, and if you answer correctly, you get a bonus question, which is one that can be discussed by the team. And then at the end of the round, high score wins. So pretty much you would compete between 3 and 4 rounds, so you could play either 3 or 4 teams that evening. And then each evening there's not necessarily a winner that night. At the end of the night, scores are turned in, and there's the rank for the league at the end. Tally of who wins the most to win the league.
Okay, great. Do you find that the kids have a little extra preparation when they know they're going to be playing their crosstown rivals too?
Absolutely. We keep track of the standings from week to week. And so during the course of the season, we're going to play each of the 8 teams 3 times. So it changes from year to year who the school that's going to give you the most competition is. And when you get those matches where it's down to the buzzer and you win by that last question in those last couple of seconds, you remember that for the next time you go against that team, and you really hope that you win again or that you get them this time. So you do keep track when you know who you're playing each week.
What's a typical score for a Quiz Bowl match, and how many points do they get per question?
Well, at the varsity level, my team usually tends to have a goal of 400. We don't always make 400. We try to get there a couple times a season, but it isn't unusual to break 300 in a match.
Great. Is the scoring the same in the junior varsity matches as it is in the varsity?
I would say that the score doesn't quite get as high at the JV matches. Usually it's somewhere around 200, but it depends on how the questions are. If it's in the niche of the students, like lately we've been having a lot of earth science questions, which they've had in the 8th grade, and I think sometimes they do better at that type of question than possibly the varsity level. So it all kind of just depends on how the questions are that night.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.